Yeah, and we've had guys, one of our first releases was Asora. So, Asora Focus came through there, Bryson Price, and Mike Shift was early releases on Apostle. So,
do you feel like there's a little bit of pushback because it's strictly like a Christian label? Do you feel like there's like you're like competing in a space that maybe is a little hostile to maybe your message?
Actually, no, you would think so. But
no, that's why
anytime I've talked to anybody, even, someone like yourself or, whoever else that might be against that sort of agenda.
Someone like myself, someone who is an anti-Christian, who's an anti-theist.
But I'm the God guy.
He's coming straight up in, God guy.
I'm all right with that. Look what I just made him do on his own channel.
You knew what you're coming into, dude. First of all, mad respect. You knew what you're coming into when I first met you. I was introduced to you by Prismatic.
That's right.
Himself.
Yeah.
And
great
he
guy.
was, and I was just like, dude, I'm very openly a very anti-Christian, anti-theist, atheist, and you're like, fuck yeah, let's go on his show. That's super. I have that much, dude. The respect level goes like,
to be clear, I don't even introduce myself to people as like super Christian. So like,
so why did he do that?
This dude coming up to me just being like, "Hi, I'm a staunch atheist." I'm like, hello? Like, hello. It's like meeting someone in Reddit in real life.
That's what he says. So how do you know? Know John?
Yeah,
AKA Prismatic.
It's actually kind of interesting. I've only seen him like, especially before, because me and my wife just moved here in April this year, 2024. And then we also got married the same like 2 years. So we got married.
You
April.
guys are actually a really wholesome couple.
Oh, thank you.
I
get very much.
Great vibes from you guys.
Oh, thank you. So we dated long distance for 3.5 years, and then she moved here.
Are you military at all?
I am, yeah. So I'm active duty Air Force. Yeah.
That's probably how you met someone who's from.
No, actually, we met on a cringy Facebook comment. So now we have a baby on the way. It's pretty crazy.
No, and you're about to be so let's go back to Prismatic. How do you know Prismatic?
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot the question. So
okay.
Prismatic. So I've seen him kind of like in an interdispersed way. You know, when I've come out to like random shows or whatever. I think we just had some sort of gravitational pull to each other. Honestly, like he was just really cool.
He's so cool
with me, and like I was really cool with him. Jack is here.
Jack. Oh, when we get the actual show going, we'll bring everybody in. We'll have like a.
ETA?
Like a boiler room.
How many minutes?
Enough minutes. You guys can hang out in here. Raul could come here and ask questions. Raul actually, I had a bunch of questions he wanted to ask, but we're just kicking it.
Yeah, we're chilling.
We can go all day, dude. We can go all night. We have.
I literally can. Well, I have work tomorrow, but I can talk about things for a long time. So.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, so that's how I know John. He's. I don't know. We've always gravitated, and then like his.
John was the first big guest. He was actually the first real guest.
Oh, I love John
on the show.
Yeah,
and he helped me understand that this format works. Like, what a stupid fucking idea for a podcast.
Dude, I actually like it.
We're gonna interview DJs and then they're gonna DJ. Like, it's a podcast. People are like, oh, what do you talk about? I mean, we just interview the DJ and then they.
Can I say, why don't you call it a podcast?
A podcast
for potato podcast.
Oh, I don't know. This is all totally open format. Like we're figuring out. And like I was saying, John was one of the first guys that really through our buddy Josh Latham, J-Lay, okay. he was able to facilitate getting John on here on the show.
Nice.
And it was just like I didn't know what to do, and I thought that I sucked at interviewing. And everyone's like, dude, you killed the interview.
It's called having a conversation.
Yeah, we just had a conversation. He had a great time.
Yeah.
He played his set on the show. Actually, I stole this idea to have the middle finger from John from Prismatic.
Yeah,
if you're watching, buddy, when I went to Lost Lands, people were trading candy. I was like, I need to find a baby hand. And my cousin who bought the tickets for our forest camping, he was the one who's at the very last day. He's like, Connor, I have a present for you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's been on there ever since. So
I love it.
Imitation is the highest form of flattery.
That's right.
So yeah,
I agree with that.
What do you see going forward We just got into a huge discussion about faith and reality and all that
as one
outside, which was awesome. And you're coming in. You said you were gonna challenge me on.
I said I'd throw you a couple quips. Like maybe we could open this podcast in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, or something like that. But
in the name of Job.
Job.
In the name. I don't know, man.
It's all right. You learn how.
To me, it doesn't make it. I'm not, and I don't want it to devolve into that. And honestly, I will edit a lot of stuff out like that. I don't think is really gonna click with the YouTube audience. I'm not a follower. I'm somewhat of a biblical scholar. For my whole life, dude, I've found the Bible absolutely fascinating, and people that follow it, I love understanding religion and religiosity.
It's fascinating to say the least.
But I don't follow it. Yeah. I used to be one of those really cringy assholes that'd be like, I'm spiritual, but no longer. I don't even do that anymore. I'm just like, you know what?
There's an apologist, Trent Horn.
Dirt man. I'm a dirt man. I'm a dirt man. I live and I die, and I'm a dirt man.
It sounds like Adam, made out of dirt. Anyway. So
we're the products of incest over several generations.
There's a guy, Trent Horn. He says,
and then again after Noah is incest again.
You can say so he says you can take the man out of religion, but you can't take the religion out of man. And I think that's quite profound to think about. Like there's always going to be some tendency towards order and some tendency towards like a belief system of some sort, some kind of something that holds your
what would happen if
understanding of truth together.
If we gave the entire world amnesia and we destroyed all of the books,
all of them,
I think in 1,000 years we'd have a totally different system of religion, but all the books on math and science would be exactly the same. Math and science aren't things that are fallible. They are researchable and they're exactly the same, but people's beliefs in faith, religion, things that are not provable, that are systems of oppression, systems that are just used to control other people. I think that those would be different. I don't think that there's any way to prove beyond any kind of doubt that there is that any system of religion, or like Islam, or the Bhagavad Gita, or like Hinduism, and people will say like Buddhism is not a religion, it's actually a philosophy. They don't believe in a deity. They don't believe in a deity. There's no divine
it's just getting ready for your passions and your desires as much as possible.
And I don't think that there's any evidence that is compelling enough for me to believe that there is any kind of deity. And we got, when I said to you, I said we were talking about the vastness of the universe, and I said,
beautiful.
Why Christianity? Why Christ? Why would God decide to have one son? But let's talk about random islands of Aboriginal people that have never had contact with the outside world. Why would God not save those people?
I think you in certain theological constructs.
It's way too tough of a question for this type of show.
No, that's fine.
This show is not supposed to go that
that's
deep.
Fine. Well, you said I found it interesting.
I'm going to give you a lifeline and just let you not have to answer that.
Oh, I love that. No, this is literally what I live for. Maybe another time.
So. Well, maybe we should have a different version of the podcast that goes into that. Because
I'm down for that too.
That's not what this is about.
Well, so here's what I would say. I would say music itself. I call music a metaphysical bridge. So the way that it relates to something that's beneath your being at your conscious level. Think about this process with me for a second, okay? So you're feeling something, right?
Okay.
You analyze that feeling and you interpret it and translate it into a sound wave.
Absolutely.
That sound wave then propagates through the air, meets another person's eardrums, which meets their neurons and everything, that translates it back into something recognizable, and
releases chemicals in their brains that makes them feel like serotonin. And dopamine.
That's correct. But it's giving them the same feeling, the same reaction of sadness or happiness or joy or whatever it is that the musician is feeling. So it's transmitting this in a way through sound, a physical transmission, but a metaphysical message. if that makes sense.
No, it absolutely does.
So it's an immaterial message.
I'm the biggest bitch. I cry. I cry full fucking tears when I listen to.
That's a beautiful thing, though.
Wicked. When I listen to the Phantom of the Opera. When I listen to Ave Maria. When I listen to Carmen.
Now you're talking about the Blessed Mother, Carmen. Man.
There was this version of Carmen that was that my French teacher let me take home and burn the CD, and it was an African singer, and every time I listen to it, I cry.
Oh,
I cry.
I love that.
So translating an emotion through musical medium, totally valid. I don't think that that's a proof for a deity or a god.
The other thing is,
that's sick. If you can do that, that means that you're achieved master level of musicians. And I think that me and you together, with our knowledge of how to my piano is not in here, but
it has a double decker.
Dude, actually. It's a beautiful piece. I love that. Anybody who has a chance to buy that specific rack for their piano, I recommend it 1,000%, because it's so. When I'm here in my studio, I'll pull up what is it the big piano that comes with native instruments. The Giant.
Oh, the Giant.
Dude, the Giant.
Oh.
And it was recorded from an actual piano that this guy in Eastern Europe built in his fucking warehouse, and the strings are literally like several yards long. Like, they're huge strings, and they recorded meticulously this piano. Wow. And I love playing it through my system. This is a calibrated system.
I can tell. By the way, it's absolutely triangulated and shaped and everything.
You can see all the markings on the ceiling.
Yeah.
I used a laser measure. I used a laser measure to make sure that the speakers at the correct angle. They're exactly 1 meter apart, but also offset by about 8 inches, or about 30 centimeters. So that it hits your ears exactly right here.
Wow.
So if you're sitting
right there.
Actually, it's
right there.
6 inches away. That's where my camera spot is. That's right.
I see. Okay.
That's where my camera spot.
Yeah.
If you sit about right there, you get a perfect signal, and I can dial it back in. If I can adjust my settings right perfectly to have if I played pink noise through the system, it would have 80 decibels at 6 inches from each speaker, and 60 decibels at the sub.
Wow, dude,
it's calibrated.
I gotta hear this thing truly.
Right now,
officially...
it's going to be set up when you play. It's going to be set up for its louder setting,
right?
Which I can push it to be super loud.
Yeah,
piss off all my neighbors.
But it's pretty impressive. You're in an apartment complex and being able to push like a full studio kind of rig. Can I say just two things?
Go ahead,
2
brother.
points. So there was 2 things that you said that I found very interesting that I just want to put out there for those inquisitive minds. There's the first thing is a lot of this conversation about theology and religion and even music is very semantically involved. So we tend to start talking past each other when we're meaning certain things by the same words. One thing that you talked about was proof, right? There's like not proof. And the thing is with evidence, proof is such like that.
Proof is something that's conclusive. Evidence is just a piece
points
of
towards
the
truth. Yeah, that's right.
It's a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah. So I think
we only have so many pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah.
If we have 1,000-piece puzzle, I think that the Bible would say the Bible is a 1,000-piece puzzle. I would say that we have maybe 20 pieces.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
You would say you have 1,000 pieces.
Well, it depends,
I would guess
this is kind of the point I was trying to.
You would say you would have all 1,000 pieces. I would say we have 20 pieces.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. I think the main point I was trying to get at was the way. So the standard for proof or evidence or whatever conclusion you're trying to reach is going to differ depending on how high of a level of truth you're trying to attain. So I don't need as much proof to know that this table exists than I would need to know that God's exist. I think you're well aware that, the more proof, the more evidence required. So you start moving beyond epistemologically, which is the study of how you know things. You need to move beyond things of like material proof and start getting into the philosophical, metaphysical realm. So that's like the proof thing. The thing with faith, though, is it's not about certainty. It's not something that you get 100% certain. Because even you think about it with science, there's still very often there is a the error, right? The plus minus. There's the little area of it could be above or minus
the margin of error.
The margin of error. That's correct. So that's kind of like what faith is more about. Faith isn't about being certain about something, because I think you would even be willing to admit you can't be certain about most things.
I wouldn't
in terms of facts.
I wouldn't fill those gaps with God.
No, well, that's fair. I'm not a God of the gaps argument guide myself, so it's not like that. But what I'm saying is your knowledge level and what you claim to know is true is based more on is based more on confidence rather than certainty.
Okay, so you have confidence that that God is filling those gaps.
No, I do not. Not necessarily.
I'm confident. I'm happy. I'm fine with not knowing.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's fair.
I'm fine with not. Yeah. I'm fine with knowing that we can reasonably conclude that the universe started from some sort of singularity, and
which I agree with.
And I can't find any evidence to reasonably conclude that there was any sort of intelligent design behind that.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. But can you prove that is true?
No, I can't.
Yeah. So that's kind of like the realm where you start getting into.
I'm not going to make any.
No, you don't just insert God in there either.
I'm not gonna say that that's God.
No,
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna reasonably conclude that because I can't explain that there's God.
Yeah, that's fair. I agree with that.
Which God? And
Yahweh, right?
Yahweh, the God of the Jews. Jews used to be a multi-theistic religion.
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately,
at the strong lament of Jeremiah.
When did the polytheistic religion become fortunately a monotheistic religion?
Well, slowly and when there's not it was a progression.
When Moses came down from Mount Sinai with
well
tablets,
that would have been
he said, hey, this God says that you can't worship any other gods.
Well,
and he's like the first 5 commandments are like that you can't. It's all about the God. Yeah. And then Alabama says we have to have the 10 Commandments on our on.
Yeah. See, I'm not one to marry politics and religion.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are willing to do that.
Yeah.
And that's where I get very upset.
Sure. Rightfully so, I would say.
I think that secular societies thrive a lot more, and I'm a secular humanist myself.
Indeed.
I think that we are very capable of measuring morality by the amount of harm we do or don't do onto others. I think that we can reasonably conclude that my freedom to swing my fist ends at your face, and anything else other than that is just people living and dying.
What about yourself? Self-harm?
Self-harm,
including thought life?
No, I think that you have every right to hurt yourself.
So you don't have every right to hurt everybody else, but you have every right to hurt yourself.
Probably. And I hurt myself every day. I'm an alcoholic, and I hurt myself every day by drinking a fuckload of liquor.
Yeah.
And destroying my body. What I would really like to do is to wake up every day, not drink, go to the gym, work out, be like an athlete like I used to be when I was a pro skier.
Yeah.
That's what I'd much rather do. But I don't think maybe I am actually hurting other people around me by not doing that.
But why would secular, I'm assuming that some of this might be cut out, but why would secular humanism neglect or leave out
it's
the
actually
self-harm?
totally within that philosophy.
Yeah.
Me being an alcoholic harms my wife.
Does it harm you though too?
It harms me, but the harm if I lived alone, and it didn't harm anybody, and I wasn't a negative effect on a net negative effect on the world, then it's not really a big deal. But I think that I'm living a little bit immorally because I drink.
Dude, that's
fuckload of liquor.
I will commend you for actually
drink a
having
of liquor.
that level of introspection to be able to admit that.
Is,
that's crazy.
Wake up every morning and go work out.
Yeah.
And drag my wife to the gym and get in like incredible shape like I used to be, like I want to be. I wish I was. She works at a vitamin store, dude. We could just be mad fucking Vitamaxing and building muscle every day. And I love lifting. I love lifting weight.
Yeah.
And the only reason I don't lift is because I fucking drink constantly.
Yeah.
And,
well, I mean, I'll say this.
I don't think I need God or religion to tell me that if I stopped drinking and started lifting again, that my life would be better. I absolutely know it would be better.
Yeah, well, I agree. It absolutely would be. And I actually
That's
agree
how raw I fucking get, dude.
that you don't necessarily need religion to tell you to do that.
I'm not afraid to fucking go there.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I respect that very highly. I would say, I mean, if you are open to it, I know you believe it does absolute squat, but if I could pray for you and your wife and everything, not now, just like
You're
in
welcome
general.
To pray for me, bro.
Okay.
I don't think it does anything. But
I just wanted to at least ask if
hey,
that's
man,
fine.
You know what? Maybe having people in your thoughts leads to action. Maybe now, because I know that you're gonna pray for me, maybe now that would actually motivate me to not drink as much.
You're getting closer to the mechanics of prayer.
Maybe now when I know, and I think that's still totally secular. I think it's still totally secular. If you're like, hey man, I got Connor in my thoughts. I know I thought I met Connor. Connor is such a fucking cool dude. And he told me he is an alcoholic.
And very humble.
I just really wish that he was not drinking as much. And I'm gonna believe that he can get over his alcoholism and that he's gonna go to the gym and he's gonna get back to being in the kind of shape that he was when he was a pro athlete. He's gonna get over his knee injury that he had when he was a pro skier, and he's gonna overcome that shit. And now I'm thinking,
I already got him saying a prayer. Look at that.
I'm like, gosh dang it. Vezzel is out there. Fucking Joel's
being
out there
vessel.
believing in me that I can get better and I can be a better person by not drinking as much and going to the gym. Now I owe it to him and my wife and my mom and my dog. Yeah, I can see how that works.
Amen, brother.
I can put that in a secular mindset.
Sure, you can. Absolutely.
And you can put that in a religious mindset.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. We just totally went into it. That was one of the most intense things. I don't know what.
That's what we
got
do.
My mom in the chat. Oh. All right, we're running out of time. We got to get back to this guy's gonna throw down. Let's take a quick break. That was one of the most intense discussions. I let everything out on the line. Let's go, bro.
Let's do it.
You ready to fucking throw down?
I'm always ready.
Let's do it. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we've got Vezzel. He's gonna throw down right here on the Potato Pod, everybody. Let's go! Yeah! We'll be right back. Hey guys, thank you for checking out the show. We really appreciate you and our guests for coming all the way out here, throwing down a set, and letting us prod them with questions. That was really quite awesome.
Yeah, let us know in the comments your favorite moments, favorite songs, or even any artists you want to see coming up next.
Yes, and all the links to ours and our guest socials will be in the description below, so go show them some love. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace!